Good morning and welcome to Trading with Larry. It's Larry Benedict, joined by my partner in crime, Eric Shamalov, coming to you live on a computer crazy algorithmic insanity market. Waiting, it's funny, we're actually waiting for Jerome Powell tomorrow at Jackson Hole, which will really set the table for the move. Okay. Today will be day 4 down in a row in S&P. Not really quite sure why. It's good. They're taking the air out of the balloon a little bit. We've seen that in a number of high flying stocks over this week alone. Nasdaq coming up on 3 or 4 down days in a row. So everything hinges on tomorrow. I'm not betting a lot on today. I'm not betting at all, but I'm not putting a lot of weight into today's trading action. Weird overnight trade. We'll get to tomorrow's action, which was pretty unbelievable. But like the overnight action was weird last night. Market was kind of trickling higher, not doing a lot. Then, interestingly enough, the DAX sold off slightly and then didn't sell off, and we sold off. It actually rallied. The Euro stocks, I mean, they're all down anywhere from 40 to 70 basis points, but they were lower. And we went lower as they were going higher. So maybe that's the computer link today. I'm not getting excited about, anything for today's trade. And I think, I don't know, the number today is whatever. The number today looks really, it doesn't look strong. It looks like what I said, Listen, manufacturing PMIs were actually better. Market didn't rally, but the PMIs were better, surprisingly. So maybe, and that's, it's funny because that's really the Fed's tool that they use the most is the PMI. So I guess they're ignoring it. And the sell button, I call it the
Well, the PMI, Larry, the PMI is coming out at 9:45. Just FYI.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking. I'm sorry. I was looking at
Looking at
the
the jobless
survey.
claims.
Oh, okay. So they're looking for a slightly lower number. So we'll wait to see what that is. But the Philly Fed business confidence number, light, minus, looking for. I mean, I don't know what that is. It's off by so much. I think that's the thing moving forward here. Maybe all of these numbers that we don't put a lot of emphasis in it, but the market does. The stock market bops up and down off the algo crazy. To make the market move so much off numbers that really are so out of whack and so out of touch, that it's unbelievable. And the jobless claims were, kind of in line, not really a lot. So we'll wait on the PMI, which the Fed loves that number. I will say this, volatility, I did some trading for tomorrow. Volatility is juiced for tomorrow, juiced. I'm selling $80 80 S&P points away, which would put us at a brand new high. I'm selling those spreads for like $4. I'd be interested to know the straddle, but it's got to be 50 at least for tomorrow. The straddle has to be. So I think really you've seen a lot of puking all week of high flying stocks out of a number of different categories of stocks. You've seen the market trade off for 4 straight days going into this, and again, I don't know what's going to happen. If I did, I'd be it'd be unbelievable. But if if I think he's going to do, if he does what I think he's going to do, he's going to be dovish. I think he's going to be extremely dovish, which is weird I think the Fed House is on fire right now. It's not only Powell. Now it's this woman with this, Bill Pulte's going after this woman, um, for mortgage fraud. They got the expenditures that the Fed is spending. And I think that the Fed's house is really, between me and you, is on fire. I mean, he's on a thread right now, that guy. So for him not to come out and basically say that they're going to cut rates or very much signal it, it would be a very big mistake for the Fed not to do that if, in fact, they're going to cut rates. And the market is pricing in what? Has it gone up from 85? Has it gone down? Because the short end is rallying, long end is selling off today, slightly. But I was wondering what the odds are for that.
Taking a look. And by the way, I'm not. Have you ever seen a Fed this divided? But the odds for the September meeting have gone down. They're now at 79.4%.
Yeah, so it was 80 or 85. It's the same.
It
I
got as
what?
high as like 95. It got as high as 95. So the market went from 100, almost 100% certainty to, maybe not.
Listen, I actually think, and I got to look to figure out a way to do it. I think it's a certainty that he's cutting. So I would even make that wager, at 78 or 79%. I would make that wager, to be
It's
honest.
really interesting. Over the last, I would say, 5 years at least, heading into every single meeting, everybody knew what was going to happen going in. There have been no surprises. I think this is the first one in a long, long time where there's actually a question mark. Like, will he? Won't he? Will they? Won't they?
Really?
Um,
I
yeah,
don't think I think all these meetings have this kind of, you know, thing coming up to the meeting with, a month and a half. Dude, there's like a month to go. I mean, this meeting's happening late in September. I don't know the date. Maybe you could pull it up, but I mean,
17th.
I've seen this my whole career. What do you mean? There's always odds. What do you mean that? What are you saying that you haven't seen? I don't. What is it they haven't seen?
That every single meeting, everybody kind of knew what was going to happen. I think it was,
No,
but this
I
time,
think we have
I think
this.
the Fed,
I think we have this all the time. Okay. Every single time. I mean, that's what the Fed fund futures are all about, and,
yeah, but I've
probably,
never seen them kind of start reversing before the Fed meeting like this. Like going into a Fed meeting, it would become more certain, whereas this time around, it's actually becoming a little bit less certain.
well,
We see it with the odds were
I think tomorrow is going to clear all of that up. All of that will
yeah,
be cleared up
yeah,
tomorrow.
probably,
So,
probably,
um,
probably.
I mean, I'm just shocked at the lack of bids in the market. Is literally, between me and you? That's the shocking part today. Is the lack
Yeah,
of.
we had a little bit of a short squeeze yesterday, and you had a lot of weakness in the market. All of a sudden, there's a short squeeze off the lows, and you're thinking, we're going to rally a little bit before Jackson Hole. So far, nothing doing.
No, but what do you like? You're coming into Jackson Hole. It'll be down, what, 5 days in a row for, E-minis, 3, 4 days in a row for Nasdaq. Dow, I don't even know. Dow's probably up. Thank God they blew these guys out of the water on this trade. Thank God. The amount of money these algos are losing is epic right now. Epic, and I love it. It's not your mommy's market straight up, oh, buy this tick, buy that tick, front run this order, front run that order. Now, the algos are blowing up. Dude, the algos are blown up here. I'm just telling you. And that's why you're seeing so much weakness in the market on the pre-open today, is because the algos can't hold anything. And, they're 4 minutes away from being shut off. which would be great for trading. That would bring trading back to the way it used to be, where it kind of made sense. Market doesn't make any sense. This morning, I'll tell you funny. This morning, Nvidia was up $1.50 pre-open. It's now down 50 cents. It's already moved $50 billion pre-market. Okay, which is a huge amount. Okay, this stock is like the stock of an internet stock in 1999. That's how Nvidia moves. How is that possible? How? Because what it is it's Citadel basically buying order flow. It's not only Citadel, it's Citadel and the other culprits buying order flow from Fidelity and Jane Street. I mean, Jane Street's the culprit also, buying order flow from Charles Schwab and Fidelity and Robinhood, and then basically jamming the market up and down in front of that order flow. Okay. Citadel's job should actually be what my job used to be: provide liquidity and fair and orderly markets in the marketplace. They don't provide a stitch of liquidity. They buy the liquidity from the players and then they maneuver accordingly. And it's creating craziness. Like, why does Nvidia have to move 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yesterday, $8 in a day? You know why? Because guys are day trading this with, you know, 100 shares, 300 shares, 500. Like, if you go in your level 3, you can't, like, we used to be able to buy from brokerage firms hundreds of thousands of shares on the line, on the phone call, from Goldman, Morgan, providing liquidity, making markets tighter. There's no one out there. There's a bunch of robbers and no police. I mean, that's literally what we have here. You think I'm kidding? And the reason why they've gotten away with it for so many years is we're in a bull market and the market always comes back and they always, the public didn't get hurt. But literally, if you look at the P&Ls of a lot of these firms, they haven't had losing months in 10 years. They haven't had losing days in months and months and months. How is that even possible? So I think that's creating what we're seeing now, where we got this zip up, zip down, zip, 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 no liquidity. Like, the problem is, back in the day, you'd buy some stock, you'd trade it, you knew your stock really well. You'd say IBM, there's liquidity up and down every quarter point. Okay. So you knew what you could buy, what you could sell, and how you could get out. Now that's out of the window. When these firms see these orders coming, they're blowing these stocks up and smashing them down right in front. And you saw a little of that yesterday. I mean, stocks yesterday were dropping out of control. And we had that same dumb algo trade where they were buying Dow and selling Nasdaq right on the opening yesterday. Then the Dow went up like 200 points straight out of the gate and Nasdaq went straight down. And then all of a sudden the Dow got smashed 350 points and the Nasdaq went up. So what do you make of that? Why is there a linkage to doing these trades in such an aggressive manner? It's so aggressive. I mean, they're moving Dow, 250 points. They're moving Nasdaq 200 points, and they're doing it in splits nanoseconds. And then they just disappear. Today, I don't think there's a linkage. I can't find it. Everything is down, probably commiserate. But we'll watch today. I think the market, I don't know what they're going to do, but I think the market's, a tad bit oversold, very short term. But I don't see any bids, so I don't know if it's going to go into Jackson Hole afraid, And I don't know what are they actually afraid of? They're not going to cut rates. So, I mean, what does that mean? You
Pretty
think,
much.
well, my question to you is, you think a quarter point rate cut and another quarter maybe at the end of the year, is enough to do anything to the markets? I mean, come on, you're much smarter than that.
It's not a lot.
It's a
It's
little,
something.
it's nothing. It's something, but that something doesn't do anything to anything. That's the really weird part. They're going to give this bone of a quarter point to the market, right? But what does that do to the market? I'm just curious. What do you think that does to the market? Nothing. It's
It
not
just
doing.
feeds it'll just feed the next leg up if that happens. I mean, that's what they want,
Why
you know.
though? You
I'll
think
tell
a
you the other
quarter,
side of
you
it.
think a
I'll tell
quarter
you, okay,
point.
you're asking that question, but I'll ask the other side of that question. If he doesn't cut, why would I think if he doesn't cut, you're in agreement the market would fall pretty good. Well, why would the market fall if we're talking about just 25 basis points? So it really works in both ways, and
I don't
either way,
know. I listen,
kind of fun.
that question will be answered at a later date. But literally, just looking at the markets, okay, if he cuts a quarter, do you think the market's going to rally or sell off?
Um, I think it's the look. We've seen him cut, and the market would fall. We've seen him cut, and yields would actually rise.
Dude,
So it depends.
that's not the question. I just asked you the question. I'm not asking you what has
I
happened.
don't think it's a good question. If
What?
he cuts, well, if I don't think it's a good question, honestly. Like,
It's
okay,
just
he cut.
what do you mean, a good or bad question? I said if he cuts 25 basis points, okay, on whatever dates that is the market going to rally or sell off? It's not a good or bad question. It's just a
Yeah,
thought.
I don't think I think that's not how it works. You know that it's leading into the Fed on anticipation where
But
the
that's not
market
what
is.
I'm asking. I'm asking when he cuts 25 basis points, do you feel like the market's going up or down? It's either up or down. There's the or sideways. It's not like whether the question is good or bad, but my answer is it may sell off.
I don't know.
It may be anticlimactic and it dude, I know you don't know. We're just speculating. Okay. I mean, no one knows. But
Being
that's my
honest, I have no
thought.
idea or
Like
how it depends on how it
what?
depends how much the market has already reacted to that rate cut.
Well,
You
listen,
know,
you just gave a stat before that it's 80% in the market. So the 80% is in this market. They're already predicting an 80%. So how is that going to, you know, basically change the mantra, of what's going on? That's what I'm saying to you. Like, is it, it's in, I believe it's in the market. And it's just funny. The market has had the same opening 4 days in a row. This is it's funny. Remember, we had 23 out of 24 straight up days. Now we're on 5 straight down days. Okay. It's 5 straight down openings. So, I mean, what kind of market is this? I mean, it's just weird. And the market isn't really going anywhere. So it's,
it's amazing how sentiment just flips on a dime, right?
yeah, but I don't think the sentiment is negative at all. I think
What are you talking
the
about? Your
sentiment,
guy who was the Palantir was calling you in tears yesterday.
I understand that. And
That's the same.
he was still up
What was
70.
his mood? What was
Eric,
his mood a week
Eric,
ago?
Eric, the guy was up $70. Okay.
But
And he
in
was still
panic.
crying. Okay. So that's the public. That's the public. The public is basically needing to be rewarded every single day, okay, and they have been pretty much. And then when they don't get rewarded, they freak out. They're not really freaked out, because if they're freaked out they would sell. Okay, they're chattering, so the bottom line is it, it's it's just interesting. And then what's even more interesting, literally, to me, which shifts little bit away from the market, but like oil to me, I'm going to get shorter oil. I don't understand it. I mean, you know, if the market's jittery, They're worried about a slowdown. Now they're, potentially worried about no rate cuts. Doesn't that affect demand? I mean, isn't that a direct effect on demand? No, I guess not. I don't know, but our markets are bidless. I'm selling some upside calls for tomorrow. Um, 80 and 90 points away from the money. The only thing I'm a little fearful of is if we if we don't rally today, those things are money in the bank, I believe. Okay. If we rally today, I'm going to have to do some hedging off of that. But right now, I just don't see how, you know, we're potentially going to rally 100 handles tomorrow. I just don't. I mean, listen, he may indicate that he's cutting rates. May. I don't even know if he will, but he may. And even if he does, it's not going to be a full he's not even allowed to do it. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know what's going to be in this speech. No one does, but it's not going to be anything that's clear cut. And, the Nasdaq market, honestly, between me and you, is insanity. The way it trades, it's down 100. It could be green on the opening or down 200. Literally, that's how illiquid and insane this market is. And around that is everything I talked about when we started the podcast, which is a little bit, I'd say angering, but like, why are the people that are buying the order flow and supposed to be quote unquote market makers? They're market makers. That's what they're called. Why are they not making markets? Why? Why are they not making any markets? Why is Citadel not showing any liquidity? Why is Jane Street just picking off order flow? Why? It's a really good question. And that's the cause of the problems that the market has, whether it be up or down. And the reason why Nvidia, which shouldn't even have a dollar, Nvidia shouldn't move $1 a day. It should move $1 to $2 a day at the most. It should be highly liquid. Okay. But it's not, because there's no liquidity. Right now, if you need to sell Nvidia, you can't. You have to go to like another country to sell Nvidia. it's bizarre. I'm telling you, it's bizarre action, what I'm seeing. So, the Nasdaq's having a adverse reaction this morning. I don't know what it's really looking at. Nvidia I'm looking at is down like 50 cents. I
Yeah,
mean,
they're all down small, but they're all down.
right, but what? So what? I mean, that's going to get 100-point move. 50 cents in Amazon, 50 cents in. I mean, if that's the case, we're in a lot of trouble. And
One thing about the Jackson Hole, I know, like we were just talking about it, but I think he has to acknowledge that producer price report that came in. And to me, if he doesn't acknowledge that, I think the market might actually have an adverse reaction if he doesn't acknowledge it. He has to, because
Eric,
that was a
it,
blowaway number.
I
And
understand
according to the
it's
10 minutes
one.
yesterday,
Okay, and what's he going to say? What's he going to say? That producers are seeing price increases? Is that a surprise?
well, how they're treating it and what he thinks the effect on the PCE number is going to be and on the CPI number. But what was interesting in the Fed minutes yesterday is that they basically said they're more concerned about the risks to inflation than the risks to slowing jobs. So I think the market actually thought it was the reverse, but it's not. So I think maybe that's why also the probabilities have come down a little bit.
A little. I mean, I listen to me. If he does not cut rates at this meeting, okay, he is going to be basically written about in the history books, okay, because the bottom line is this is a self-fulfilling prophecy for Jerome Powell. Okay. This is a self-fulfilling prophecy to F Trump. Okay. Because cutting a quarter is irrelevant. It's an irrelevant move. It's a statement move. It's not doing anything for anybody's car loan. It's not doing anything for mortgages. It's not doing anything for the national debt. It's doing nothing. A quarter point does nothing. Nothing. Whenever the Fed needed to move, and you saw it during COVID, they moved a point. They were moving a point at a time. Okay. I've seen that multiple times. I saw it in '08. A quarter point is a token nothing move. So for him not to give the quarter point when many people in the Fed want that quarter point or even a half a point, they were literally talking about a half a point, is self-fulfilling in his manner. He is self-fulfilling to screw Trump if he doesn't do it. Now, I think he will do it. And I think he will actually go out and basically show his cards tomorrow that he is going to do it. Okay. And that, yes, they're going to come up with this. They're going to go, hey, we're very concerned with inflation. Concerned about, what tariffs are going to be inflation. We haven't seen it pass down to the consumer level. We're seeing it, hitting the producer level. But we think that growth, worries are outweighing inflation by a lot, and we're going to cut a quarter. But this is, in my mind, this is a token cut. Token. And if he doesn't do it, it's political. And that would be insane because he's already signaled it out of the press conference saying, that they're leaning that way. The market is feeling that. So, yes, tomorrow is really, is obviously important. If he doesn't do it, I think it's political. So, you could take that to the bank. I think it's political. And, we'll have to see, how all this sort of weighs out moving forward.
By the way, straddle tomorrow is not 50. You thought it was 50. It's actually much higher. It's
Right.
60.
Right. I didn't know. I said it has to be above 50. I'm telling
Yeah,
you, dude, I'm telling you what I'm selling. I said I'm selling way up top calls. I'm selling $80, $90 out of the money calls for tomorrow. Do you really think? I mean, do you really? I don't know what's going on in the market. Do you really think that his quarter point is worth 100 SPU points? Confirming that he's going to do a quarter point when it's already 80% in the market? I don't know.
If the insanity got knocked out of the market like you think it is, then no. If the insanity is there, then yes, it could rally like that.
What
But
insanity?
well, you said the algos got killed and they're gone, and so maybe that should hold 100 points.
I don't
But I
know.
would say if the algos
I'm
split in,
saying, listen to me. The algos, never run out of money and never run out of stupidity. So, they're still here, but they're licking wounds and they don't even know what to do. And, for a day where we're literally the day before the minutes before Jackson Hole, which is really an important day, to have Nasdaq turn sour off of no numbers, no anything, pre-open and drop over 100 points with nothing going on is very interesting. I mean, I got to believe that the algo blew up. That's just my
maybe that's a rally for today.
what?
Maybe it's setting up a rally for today.
Maybe, or maybe it's setting up a sell-off. I have no idea. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I'm a
mean,
little surprised the
I
market.
would think the market would have felt a lot better if we had a nice up opening and the market was stable going into Jackson Hole. We're on 5 down days, so 5 down days and we're, coming in on the low. It's 5 down days on the low. So, again, it's not too far, again, doing these spreads tomorrow. And again, if the market does rally today, I'm going to be covering with other options because I'm not going to lay out there. But, I'm basically selling an all-time high. So I don't know if he comes in Jackson Hole and says, yeah, we see slowdown and we're going to cut rate. I mean, I don't think he's going to say he's cutting rates. Do you actually think he's going to say he's cutting rates?
He never says it outright.
Right, but now you're going to rely on some crazy algorithm to read through what he actually says, And
What time is that speech exactly?
I
I'm
think
seeing 10 a.m. Is
I
that
don't know,
correct?
maybe 9 o'clock, maybe 10. He's out in Jackson Hole, so it's 2 hours earlier. So, 10 would make sense, but maybe it's 9, but I think 10. Are there Fed guys talking today? I mean, I don't know. I don't know how this is set up, but they don't really matter. But
Just Bostic. Well, Bostic already spoke,
mm,
so nobody's speaking today. I'm
okay.
seeing tomorrow, 10 a.m. Fed Powell speaks on economic outlook at Jackson Hole, 10 a.m.
It's pretty crazy what's going on here, to be honest. Um, markets are you know markets are wishy-washy at the very least to start the day. So we'll have to we'll see new lows, Nasdaq as we speak, new lows, smash lows, smash, 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 smash. Here we go. So we're getting the algo smashing right now. Nasdaq is weird to me, and the weirdest stock on the board, believe it or not, is Nvidia. It's the weirdest stock I've ever seen. The thing is, this is the closest. This is what's weird. Like the internet bubble happened in 1999 into 2000, and then into the blow up. Okay, but here's the thing: those stocks had market caps of 100 million, 400 million. There weren't even billion-dollar companies then, right? This is the largest market cap stock in the world by a lot. Okay, it's almost $5 trillion, and it moves like an internet stock in 1999. I woke up this morning, it was up a buck 50. It's now down a buck 50. Okay, that's $3. That's basically $75 billion moved in that stock. Okay, billion before the opening. So you don't find that they can't find liquidity at any place? Why do you think that is?
Well, you were talking about it, right? It's the new breed of market makers,
Well, the
and
market
all the
makers
all
add
the
to
deals
that,
that they
but
have.
it's retail, dude. Retail is buying quarter shares, 1 share, 10 shares. They need a $5 move. And basically, the market makers are accommodating the $5 move. They're like, okay, we'll give it to you. But it shouldn't be like that. If I was the specialist in that, like I used to be, I would be a quarter point wide, a 250,000 shares up. Let's see what you want to do. And the stock wouldn't move. I'm telling you, the reason why the stock moves is because they take liquidity in and out of the market, and you can't get in or out of the stock.
We were talking about this yesterday, and in the back of my mind, I'm like, is the you talk a lot about the illiquidity, like people think there's liquidity, but when you're trying to put on size, it seems in practice there is none.
Size, listen, this is what we talked about. Okay, there is size. The bottom line is there is size and options. Options is the place to go. All our products are options, um, and they're amazing. And we're able to get in and out of stuff for our customers easily. To buy, um, to buy stock, you can't do it. You can't do it. So, I don't know what's going on with the algos today. Again, like I said, I walked in this morning, market, I got up, the market was flat. Nasdaq was actually higher. The S&P was down 3 or 4. And then you come in, and the dislocation of the market is pretty massive. And really, between me and you, if they're pricing the straddle this high and the upside calls are blown up to the moon, okay, they're blown up. I'm telling you, they're sky high. 80 points. They're looking potentially for, the straddle's saying 60, but I'm looking at wings and they're looking for 80. So, again, I don't I think the market is going to be slightly disappointed because I don't think this guy is going to signal what he's doing. Do you? Like,
Yeah, I think so.
you think he's giving a clear signal?
Well, Usually Jackson Hole is a good day for insight into policy.
Eric, he
I
has
don't want.
a full month of numbers coming out. You just said he's got to talk about the PPI.
Well,
Well,
he's got to acknowledge that, and I think if
okay,
he
so then
acknowledges,
what? But what does the PPI mean? Because we got another one coming before the Fed. So what if that number slows down or comes in? Then what? What if it gets hotter? He can't make decisions about what he's doing at this next meeting tomorrow. There's no way. He's got a full month to go. He's got a full month and a lot of numbers to go. So how can he make a full determination where he's going to tell anyone in the marketplace what he's doing? Not a chance. I'm just telling you, there's a lot of things out there. There's no chance that he could be fully committal on anything. So that's what I think the market is not getting. He may tip, the algo may read that he touched his nose to the right, and then every time he does that, it means he's cutting rates. Or if he says, ladies and gentlemen, it means rate. You can't believe the way these algos are set up, to siphon out like what I would call fake things or fake news. So I don't think, Eric, he's coming out tomorrow and saying, "Hey, we're going to cut rates." It would be very stupid. How does he know? You just said he has to deal with a PPI, right? Does he have to deal with the PPI?
I think he needs to acknowledge it. Yeah, there's
Okay,
a
so then what? But what's he going to do with the next
you plot
PPI?
the PPI against his preferred measure of inflation, and it's like the same chart with the 2 month lag.
I
So
get that, but what is he going to do with the next PPI? How could he be determined to know what he's going to do at Jackson Hole tomorrow, a month from today, when you have about 30 numbers that they have to go through? He can't. And if you don't think that that's true, there is no way he can know. Now,
so
listen,
you're saying tomorrow he's going to come out with the usual. We're
yeah,
looking for data,
it's going to be mumbo jumbo.
patient. We're assessing all of this garbage data.
It's going to
Like,
be mumbo jumbo, a bunch of different stuff. Okay. Data dependent, blah, blah, blah. Listen, I just said it to you before, and I believe this. There is no way, even with a hot PPI number next month, jobs number being whatever, that he doesn't cut. There is no way he can't cut. No way. He is so backed into the corner. There are very many Fed members that want between a quarter and a half a point because they're opting, to show up for the job of running the Fed. Okay. So the bottom line is those guys are on display, or girls, guys and girls, are on display. Okay. So you got to realize that he has to do this. And this is reverse of a political move. I mean, he has to because he's committed to it. And basically, how much more can the Fed take of being lambasted? Literally, how much more? Can you take it? I can't take it. I mean, it, listen, there's only one member of the Fed.
Trump gave him a pretty good name. He calls him Too Late Powell. So it's a too late Fed. They're always too late. So you're right
Well, they
about that.
have to listen in defense of the Fed, which I don't really care to do. They always kind of have to be too late. They have to make sure. They want to make sure. They don't want to. That's the thing. That's why they're only going to go a quarter, I believe, is because the bottom line is they don't know what's going to happen. They're doing this without knowing, but this is political, dude. I mean, they're coming after the Fed. They came after the woman. The funny thing is, Trump doesn't realize that the voting members of the Fed have votes, but basically Jerome Powell makes the call. Okay, so really you could put 8 members in there. They could harass the Fed chairman, but he makes the move. So I don't know why they want to replace all these Fed people, and it's it's an interesting. We're in an interesting. I call it I don't know if I call it dilemma, but today to me is the weirdest trading day so far. This is a
The
quiet.
futures are a little bit off their low here, a little bit.
I mean, but why are they down? They were up this morning. So my question to you is anyone, this is what I see. Anyone that sold yesterday got sold out, you know? So why is there more selling today, like out of the gate on a day that should be really light volume and really low or fairly low activity? Because tomorrow's what it's all about. Like if you sell your position today and the guy is dovish, okay, you're not getting back in, you missed it. So that's the thing I'm not understanding is why people are reacting in maybe they know something. I don't know. I doubt it, but maybe they know stuff. But overall, the market's down a little. I'm surprised. I actually thought they were.
Maybe it's something to do with Walmart's profit miss.
Yeah, but I think
Uh,
Walmart's barely down.
yeah, it was down like 3%, but there's a lot of sympathy moves in the consumer staples.
Oh,
Maybe
look at little oil going red on the day, young man. Um, I
you're really,
really
really
have
riding.
I really
You got a
feel
lot riding on this trade.
I feel
I'm out of it.
what?
What do you see in oil? I mean, I just see it doing not much. I don't even see it
Okay.
trading anymore.
I see that the news is skewed to the other side, meaning, I don't know what's going on with Russia. I actually can't even believe that we haven't heard anything. Dude, this guy, Trump, is calling Putin. He's not answering the phone. He's
No,
like,
Putin is already backing off
Trump.
from.
What?
Putin is already backing off. He's putting into question the meeting with Zelensky and threatening to take more.
Right.
So
So then Donald Trump didn't do anything. And
did it.
it was a waste of time. And he couldn't
It
get
was a
anything
big
done.
pompous meeting. You had all the heads of state. Trump was in the
Right, but
middle.
how does it disappear? All this, that's the thing. He's like the Houdini president. It's like Iran. Every couple of months now, he goes, "Oh yeah, we decimated Iran." We didn't do anything, okay? The bottom line is we have that. We stopped Israel. Israel could have decimated Iran. They would have decimated them. So, we stopped that from happening. Um, and we supposedly took out their nuclear capacity, which we didn't do. So, you know, that's you know, that's what I see. Bonds are surprising. If you have a little guts, I like bonds for a trade. You have the you know meeting tomorrow, so that's going to move pretty good. So you got to be careful there. Um, and it's just weird to me. Nvidia is now down $1.50. It was up $1.50 this morning. Who's trading this? I gotta know who's trading this. Like who? Who is moving this stock like this? And the thing is, the market without Nvidia, how's it going to rally? It needs Nvidia. It's the biggest stock in the market. So keep an eye on
Interesting
Nvidia.
Walmart's earnings report. They're like Walmart noted prices have risen by only 1% during the second quarter as a result of tariffs, but that increase will become greater as the company replenishes its inventory. So it's the same story, right? It's the public's not seeing the inflation now, but all these companies are saying it's coming later. And the most recent one is Walmart, which is a pretty good proxy for retail, um, not retail trading, but retail uh, buying and selling.
But where is
How
the stock? Where is the stock right now?
Walmart is, I think it was down 3% last time I checked.
Okay, so it's like $3. It's not really much. I mean, I don't know. Listen, we'll see. Again, market is skittish on the opening. We'll see if it can hold. And then on to tomorrow, I suggest upside call spreads. I like that trade. I wouldn't even make a move on that trade as long as they're $60 out or more. So if the market rallies 20 off the opening, then I'll have to cover with other options, which shouldn't be that much of a problem. Again, want to be short crude oil. It's bounced about $1.20 off the low, $1.40. Think they're going to take the low again. The market today is very weird to me. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Very surprised that we're having a down opening. I thought after yesterday they washed the sellers out, but I guess there's more sellers. Day 5 in S&P, day 3 or 4 in Nasdaq down, and then we're on to tomorrow, and we'll be actually. You won't be with me, but I'll be doing my show after the Jackson Hole. So that's my Ask Me Anything, and you can write into feedback at the Opportunistic Trader, and I'll answer any questions you guys may have. And so far, really see if the market can hold. Think it should be a quiet day. Once they shake these algorithms out of the water again, and
Yeah, you have some premium today out of the money. Straddles at about 25, 26.
that's not too much. I mean, listen, I'm surprised, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, and we're on to tomorrow, and we're getting close to the opening. And I wish everyone luck trading today. I don't know if you have anything to add on the close here of the podcast, but
Yeah, I feel like I missed Palantir in the 146 handle, 145 handle yesterday. I thought that was interesting. It would I think I missed that one, right? But it kind of pared back its overnight rally here, and
here's my question. Who is selling Palantir at 145 or even 147 when it was 188 to start the week? I mean, those people deserve what they get. They deserve what they get. I mean, they deserve it. Whatever they get, they deserve. I'm being dead honest. I mean,
the same people that were buying at what that were buying at 185 are the same people that were selling at 145.
I don't listen. I don't know a lot of people that were doing that. I know a lot of people that were long. Okay. I think a lot of that 188 was short covering. It wasn't actual people buying. It was all short covering. They covered out,
Like
a lot of
live higher, bears live lower.
Yeah. Now no one can buy it. But check out oil, my young man.
I went into Tesla yesterday at around one. What was it? Three. Where was it? 321 a share, and it's basically right there. So let's see what Tesla does. But I was trying to buy that. I thought we would have a green day today.
All right. Well, the day's not over, man. The day is not over. So we'll see what happens. We're getting close to the opening, and I wish everyone luck trading today. Just do yourself a favor. The last couple of days, I was telling everyone to put Dow up on their screen next to Nasdaq and watch the crazies. I think you should watch Nvidia and if you have a level 3 machine or a level 2 where you can see size, it's embarrassing. It's actually the exchange has an issue. It's an embarrassment that there can't be 10,000 shares anywhere of a stock that is only 100 and basically $70 and has 25 billion shares outstanding that no one can buy or sell 10,000 shares. That's the joke. And the thing moves $3, $4, $5 every single day. Why? I'm just trying to understand why. Oh, you know what? Before we leave, when is their earnings? That's coming up very shortly, I believe.
27th.
What are we, 22nd today?
21st.
Okay. So a week from today. Right? So get ready for that. And I wish everyone luck trading today. And I'll be back tomorrow without Eric. And again, hopefully you get something, I'm telling you, I like upside call spreads way above the market, way above the market. Um, I wouldn't touch them until the market got to unchanged on S&Ps, which can happen in 10 minutes. And then I would cover up a little bit of that with some other calls that are lower down and do like a ratio where we buy one versus selling two of the higher. So you're
Yeah,
protecting.
but what about for today? What are you leaning towards? Put spreads, call spreads, iron condor.
You know what, dude? I made money again yesterday selling a call spread at $1. I am now basically flat on my product. It is like 30 winning trades in a row of $1. It is the most brutal. Maybe there's premium today. I would say upside, I would say upside call spreads maybe 40 up from here, maybe. Um, I'm just going to wait to see it. Like I think that the market is a little bit wrong on their pricing on the futures being down so much. I don't see, like what we talked about before, you're seeing stocks down $1.50. I don't see anything too crazy out there that we're down so much, but
Yeah, me neither.
what?
Also, why wouldn't you be leaning put spread then?
Dude, because I am more always call spreads. I have the fear of God in me. Okay. I don't feel comfortable, okay, with put spreads, okay, ever. So, I'll do them, when it's really, really bullish, but I don't feel as, like, listen, I feel like if you sell up 40 today, you have plenty of time to maneuver. Like the way the market moves down, like you saw it, dude, you saw it yesterday. The Nasdaq dropped 400 points in 2.5 minutes. I don't like that. That makes me nervous. Okay. And when the market rallies, it doesn't rally like that. It doesn't rally, 200 points in 3 minutes. It goes up, but it's stair step all day. Lip, lip, lip all day. So the bottom line is, you can sell a put spread today, and I believe the market probably is going to rally today. But you want to be pretty far from the money just in case. But anyway, we're 8 from the opening. I'm closing down. I got to get ready. Peace. Everyone have a great trading day. We'll be back tomorrow.